you sure have enough pictures of that trip.
Yeah.
Dolores was showing up on the computer.
400 pictures. Oh, did you see the book that she did of the trip?
Oh, yeah. We saw the book. And we saw about 200 of the pictures.
I know Dolores went, and who else went?
Marge and I.
And my
okay.
daughter,
I
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Well, the English people were sure nice to us, I tell you.
I always thought English people were, you know,
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
and everything. They're really, really friendly people.
Friendly and
love to
helpful
visit
and-
and talk and
I don't know, they had us to tea and is that crumpets or?
yeah. And then
Boy, when you're lost and they'll offer to take you home. Pretty
yeah,
nice.
a couple of times.
Did you get lost one day?
Oh, we got off the bus at the wrong stop,
Oh.
and we were gonna have to, well,
Walk.
try to
What-
find
what-
a taxi, and there's no taxis, so this auto dealership man just said, well, you know, hop in my car, I'll take you home. And gosh, it must have been 5 or 6 miles home, wasn't it?
That was great.
I think
Well,
there was
also-
a financial reason for that.
Also, after the tour of the candy factory, that guy took us home.
Yeah, and he owned the candy factory and
And actually, he lived, his home was in the opposite direction. But he took us home.
Paula said,
And it was night, and we said, well, where can we find a taxi? Well, wait till I close up, I'll take you home.
it was great.
That's really being neighborly.
Yeah.
Did he give you any candy?
Yeah, well,
Well, we
no,
had to
we
buy
bought
it.
some
We
candy.
had to buy it.
Yeah, we bought.
Well, yes, he
They
did give
their
us that,
sample candy
Yeah.
too, though.
but we bought candy. Paula and I bought lots of stuff. Paula and I were the shoppers.
I don't know what happened to Joylene.
Yeah, she was
Greg
gonna be
and
here at 2
Greg
o'clock.
and Heidi, they all said they'd be here too.
Well, they lied, Dolores.
Who's supposed to be here?
Huh?
Who's supposed to be here?
Joy and
Oh,
her
okay.
husband and Greg and Heidi and Hunter.
Her family.
Oh, I see.
I remember little Hunter, he was very cute when he was a baby.
Yeah, you know, he's pretty big now. How old is he now?
He just had
turned
his
4.
4th birthday.
Oh, boy.
He's going to Montessori school now.
There's somebody.
You're telling those guys are pulling up.
Yeah, that is like my, well, no, I think that's just the name.
Is that just a name?
No, it might. It's Katie.
I was outside laughing. Mom give me a licking.
It gives me the chills when I think of one time I told Dolores to stick her tongue on a frozen
Mom.
Oh.
pump handle.
Mom
That was
handle.
the sled.
I was probably twice.
That part of the sled.
Oh, I remember when
Aw.
I remember when it was a whole time.
Yeah, and you have a sore tongue for a long
Oh,
time.
that's
terrible.
Well, boy, what I hated was Mother would make you go pick your own stick to get a spanking with, and if it wasn't big enough and strong enough, she'd throw it away and make you go get a bigger one. And gosh, it was awful having to pick out the stick you knew she was going to swap my legs with it.
Well, and they were maple switches too, and maple switches.
They hurt.
I remember Mom meeting, I think both Jerry and I at the front door with a rolled up newspaper one time, and we got so hysterical, all three of us ended up laughing. I mean, I just thought it was amusing. Usually it was Dad, all he had to do was just go like this, and
Yeah.
I, like, you know, okay. But with her, she met us at the door, she was so mad, and I don't even know, I can't remember what it was, but we just started cracking up, all of us.
Do you remember the council corner schoolhouse?
No, see, that was out east of Maryville, and you guys went to Council Corner.
Yeah,
But,
Johnny and you and Alice and I went to Council
Yeah.
Corner.
Yeah, I remember those days.
But we went to Mount Vernon, not Monkey Run.
Janice went to Monkey Run.
Well, our daddy was a very wealthy man, and he didn't have any cars because there wasn't any cars. You know.
Well, when they
So he
started.
had to find his horses he could get put money he could buy, and he bought me a little Shetland pony. You know, one I said I wouldn't trade this Shetland pony for any of my sister for any of this. That was a big sacrifice. My Shetland pony boy.
Yeah.
He bought Martin Lor's pony and it ran off with us and it went to sale the next day.
Yeah.
Well, when Tony was born, and you all lived down at Sugar Lake, and you taught at Riceville, and I was out, I call it total school. Mount Vernon was 8 months instead of 9 months, so we got out in April. So when you were born April 12th,
Yeah.
and I got to go down and stay and help Charlotte when she came home from the hospital here. I was just 12 years old.
Wow.
But I still remember it. Things I remember is that you had to do a test, and you had it written longhand and you wanted it typed, and I pecked it out heck on a typewriter, typing that for you. At 12? At 12. That was the neatest place. I slept upstairs. It was kind of like a cupola on this cabin.
Kind of like a balcony.
Yeah, and you could see all around. And I remember them fishing for big buffalo fish. They were gigging them right off the lake there. You live right on the lake.
What are buffalo fish?
They're not very good eating, I'll tell you.
No, they're not.
They're real bony, but they're a big,
They're
white,
big, yes.
white fish.
That's why we need to catch them, because they were so big,
But they were kind of like a carp, weren't they? You had to score the
That's
fish,
right.
the bones in them and stuff.
When I grew up in Maryville, Missouri, big fish were not very big fish, but they were big to us, you know. Yeah.
Those mudcats we caught in the creek were delicious.
Oh, yeah, they were the best eating fish in the world, I
Best
thought,
tasting
you know.
fish yet.
Yeah, and the rich people, they wanted to have trout, you know, but we didn't have any trout. Not in Missouri, we just had catfish, you know. So catfish was our favorite fish.
Trout was
Yeah.
more tasty.
I still think it's better than.
Had a good flavor.
Yeah.
When Doris and Carolyn didn't have the patience or didn't like the fish as much as I did when I was little, I would walk, or maybe they would go, but they would leave before I did, but walk clear over to where Dad had that baseball diamond. Wasn't it Clear Creek, what they called it? Wasn't
Yeah.
clear, but
No,
but anyway, you were fishing for mudcats.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I caught a really big one. I
Are
could
you talking about?
I remember that, yeah.
Total,
Yeah.
and I could hardly wait to get home to show everybody. But I staked it out, thought maybe I'd catch another one, and I didn't have enough line on it. When I got it out to bring it home, a turtle had eaten half of it.
Oh, you know, say.
Was that when we stayed in that cabin down in the field and I had the measles?
The cabin, this was when we lived in the house, but after this is some of the moves.
The one
Now that-
movie, I bet you missed
Well,
I
that
missed
one.
that move.
No,
I didn't remember that. But Dad built a cabin over there when we lived in Maryville, just to come out there and stay in the
Yeah,
summertime.
that was our recreation.
And
Yeah, we drove in there for the weekend.
Yeah.
And then later a cyclone took that cabin.
Is that what happened to it? But I'm talking about the cabin, because Daddy would be out plowing, and the cabin was down there where the creek was, and we'd go down there and fish.
Yeah.
And one time Daddy brought some baby rabbits that he had plowed around, little rabbits, and brought them. And we had a big bag swing that went out over a
Over
big
the
ditch.
water, and you'd swing out and
Yeah,
drop in
you
the
jump
water.
on that
Did
bag.
you say you got the measles there or whatever?
Yeah, I had the hard measles there.
Wasn't it the pink
But
eye?
we were-
It was something where Mom pulled all the
These
shades,
things
so it would.
Well, that's
all
measles.
of them.
Because they
You
did
don't know
that.
what
She put a blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny's wife and I both had the measles same time, and so they brought his wife over and put her to bed with me, and Mom took care of us both. And it had to be in the dark.
It wasn't 3-day, it was a hard German music.
Yeah, it hurt your.
And you had to be in a dark room.
It ruined your eye.
Johnny's wife was real young when they got married, and she was like a older sister, and she would tell us ghost stories and stuff, you know. And, yeah, she was
Well, I just remember you two girls shared bedrooms. Dad was showing the house to these people, and you'd papered your walls in your bedroom with movie star pictures out of magazines. And Dad just about had a heart attack when he found that out. He didn't know you'd done that. He was showing the house.
That's probably when we made our dressers out of orange crates.
Yeah.
It was with curtains in front of them.
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we had curtains in front of
Had
orange.
curtains in front of
Well,
the.
Mom was good at taking something like that and
Put a
making
board
it attractive.
between the orange crates.
She really was.
And our playhouse
Well,
is out in the corner.
There wasn't much money, so you made do with
I
what
always
you
got
had.
the chicken house after the baby chickens got big. That was my playhouse for the summer.
well,
We
you
made our
remember,
playhouse
we
out in the corner.
had that really nice big corn crib, and you guys had a boxing ring.
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
there. And you could, there was blood all over, because
Yeah, my twin brother, he liked that one, he liked to
Twin
go
brother.
to do anything. And so I guess it's about 8 years that we worked out every day. And he eventually died, but he never got to fight professionally, but I did, because after 8 years, I got to be pretty good. Could hardly anybody beat me.
at the YMCA, or where did you fight?
I did fight out at armory places, you know, the National Guard places.
Oh.
That's where I would go to
At the
fight.
National Guard.
Yeah.
Well, was it you, or was it Johnny the one that was,
This
knows
one's
me
mine.
real easily?
And this
No,
is
it was
Joyce.
late.
Was you?
And I was timing them one day, and we got the notice late, and I called time, time wasn't up.
Well, I don't know. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, he had another time.
Another Sunday pastime in Toad Hollow was, people had rat terriers, little terrier dogs they call rat terriers,
Yeah,
but not very
uh-huh.
big. And the sport was that they would get the rats out from under the corn cribs, and they would shoot them. And, you know, when they came out, then the men would shoot the rats.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That was like lately, you know, people go clear to Canada to shoot deer up there and things like that. But we couldn't go there.
Oh, yeah, shoot rats out the corn crib.
Yeah, they go a few miles. Pretty hard, cause we didn't have any cars. Had to just ride horses. Can't go very far on a horse.
But it seemed like our house was always a place where they congregated, because like, to come there,
Yeah.
where there was a boxing rink and
Well, didn't they have a lot of
baseball
barn dances? Didn't they used to have barn
Oh, yeah,
dances?
yeah, barn dances, all that. That was wonderful.
Or
I'd love to go to the
go to
barn
homes,
dance.
and that day, the carpet didn't go to the wall, you know, and we'd roll up the carpet and spread the paraffin, you know,
to
just
make it kind of
off
slick.
of the,
Yeah.
and to make it real slick,
Or cornmeal.
yeah. And that's where I met Ronald. He came to our neighborhood to work for the Worthings, and he came to one of those meetings on the
Uh-huh. Well, that was a long, long time ago, and barn dances were very exciting to me, because you never saw a girl above her ankle, you know, not any higher than that, you know. But at the barn dances, you could, you know, they would dance and you could see
Their skirts would swirl
Yeah.
out.
Swirl out.
Or they would do
Like
like
see their
don't
knees.
go.
I thought that was wonderful.
Life on the farm was tough.
We had
I
square
bet you
dances a
remember
lot.
those days too.
Well, maybe at least the knee.
How times change.
Yeah, it sure do. Those are good old times, though, don't think they weren't. We had lots of fun
Getting
in
ready
those
to
days,
leave, he
yeah.
said they had a late night last
Yeah.
night.
Lee would let me tag
Sounds about
along
right.
with him, and he had traps to catch
Oh, yeah.
animals, you know, and sell the hides and
Yeah.
and
I would get to go with him too.
Yeah.
go out there, get up early in the morning.
Catch an old
Oh,
stinking
yeah.
skunk and you could smell it all
Stomping
day
through
on
the
your
snow.
clothes.
Yeah, you weren't too popular at school that
And
day.
yeah, you go to country school and they could smell the skunk on your clothes.
Oh,
But they'd be so excited because that was their spending
What,
money
A
for
dollar,
Saturday night.
a dollar and a
Selling
half
their
for a
hides.
skunk hide.
Wow.
Skunk hides and,
$1.50.
But if you've got a fox, it was about 5
Oh,
or 6
yeah,
or
fox was a trophy.
man, that was big money.
yeah, you could go to those fancy barn dances, you know, and if you had a little money, and that didn't take very much, and you could find out the prettiest girl there, then you go look up her son and say, for a quarter, I would be happy to give you a quarter if you tell me which one of her box, what the color her
Oh,
box
they
is going to
have,
be.
they have box dinners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that was a box boy.
Yeah, there was an
Decorated
old
boxes.
bachelor that was all scared to death that bachelor was gonna buy her box.
I'll bet you.
Oh, and when you found out it wasn't the old bachelor, you were so happy.
I remember.
If they bought the box, you had dinner or
Yeah,
lunch.
yeah, eat lunch. yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
The
we
girl
fixed
picks
a nice lunch
a
and
lunch,
a
and it was in a
box
box
that we decorated.
Yeah.
And then they would auction them all.
They had that on the movie State Fair.
Yeah.
That's where, yeah, because I thought that was just, I didn't realize that was real.
Yeah,
I thought that was
yeah.
part of, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
the movie, the State Fair, when they do that with,
Oh, no, that's real.
And they'd go all out decorating these boxes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember
but a lot of
Alice-
work
Alice
trying to
helped
make
me
the
get-
prettiest box so
Everybody was
so
happy.
your favorite guy would want to buy it.
Alice helped me make one time. It was like an Aunt Jemima doll. It had her skirt and it was Aunt Jemima on the
Think
top
of
of
different
it.
ideas.
so the girls got the money.
The money was for like Sunday school or something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. It was a fundraiser. Yeah, a fundraiser.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I even did that in high school. I don't remember
Well,
how
the
the
money-
box looked like though.
Our money went back to the council corner schools, you
Yeah.
know, and it helped to people to be able to send their children to school. Some of them were very poor and they couldn't afford to
Couldn't
send
buy
them
the
to school, but
supplies
they
for
got
dinner.
money. This is one where they could make money, send their kids to school. Yeah.
Harry Burr was our teacher there, and we just loved him.
Who?
Harry Bird.
Oh, yes, I'll never forget Harry Burr. He was a wonderful guy.
His father was the superintendent, the county superintendent at
Bill Burr.
school.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Some of the teachers we had up at Mount Vernon, they were just out of high school and then went and got a teaching degree that took about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the fast forward kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
teaching kids.
But
Yeah.
I remember one time when there's many moves back and forth to town and country, I was supposed to go to first grade there at the grade school at what is now Northwest Missouri,
Oh.
you know, University. It was a teacher's college then, and they had an elementary school right there in the main building. Anyway, I had to take a test to get in that because I hadn't had kindergarten. I had been going to a country school where I was listening to all 8 grades recite.
Right.
I'll tell you, that test was so simple.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it was, all right.
Yeah.
When I was given, I would hear it from the first to level when I would get there at the age of 6, I think. And then I could hear all those
Older kids.
over and over and over and over. By the time I was on there and had to take those tests, I didn't really have to study for my
Heavens
memory.
no,
So what would they do? Would they just segregate, okay, the first first and second grader kids over
Probably
here.
sit in
Now
one
you sit and
row.
read while we're gonna teach
Yeah,
the
just
fourth
in
and fifth.
one
and
room
whatever.
school,
in
but
one
here was
room.
first grade and here
And
was
they would
second
just
grade.
give an assignment, you know.
And you could
sat
listen
at
to
your
all
desk.
of them recite, so
You
you
had
learned
to.
a lot just listening to them.
And
But-
in President Lincoln's days, those were called blab
One
schools.
teacher,
Right.
two teachers.
Because they really
One
didn't use
teacher.
One
books
teacher.
One teacher.
or even
First
pencils
through
and paper
sixth
very much.
grade.
In 8th grade.
First through eighth grade.
Yeah.
So there,
Cross-age
but there may
tutoring
be,
built
so-
in.
but there may be 2 or 3 students in the first grade.
Yeah,
And maybe one student
maybe,
in the
yeah.
5th grade.
Maybe
so
And
Five or
those,
six
those
in
boys
one.
in the 8th grade were bigger than the teacher. I mean, you know,
Oh, yeah.
great big 8th grade boys. that
Many
might
of
be
the
bigger
boys
than
were
the
not
teacher.
bigger than the teacher.
It was an education.
Green Acres Country Living.
Yeah, and at recess, it was baseball team, and you chose up sides, and man, it
Yeah, we
was
played
some-
candy over the school, we threw the ball over
Yeah.
the school.
But don't
and
you
If
remember
they didn't catch it, they'd run around, and if they could hit you, then you had to be on their side.
Yeah.
And then when
That would be
everybody was
fun.
on one side, they won.
But
We
you
called it
remember
candy over.
the teeter-totters where somebody get on each end, and then you would come down, and you would stop it, and the person up there bounced with
Or if you jump off, he bounced down.
Yeah, wow.
snowball fights, build fort, you know, and snowball fights, gosh.
We had a lot of fun in country school.
Yeah. We had a real long hill to slide down at Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
And the year that we had that ice, it was just a glare of ice, and you could just get on a board and slide down the hill. And one of those teeter-totter boards got broken, and we all get on this big long teeter-totter board and slide down that hill like it's a boggin. And then carry that thing back up the hill. And do it over and over.
Just walking back up the hill is bad.
Come on. Come on.
But bad, but it was good for you physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out the door, out the
Man, get all bundled up and
Yeah.
Tony's boy.
Yeah. In today's schools, they wouldn't let you do half that stuff. At recess, it'd be far too dangerous. There'd be
yeah.
too many lawsuits and stuff.
Yeah.
Half the playground equipment now is just
Oh my gosh,
simple
we've had to
little
close
thing.
down our
Yeah.
play structure, I don't know how many times, because one little board was loose or something and could cause, you know.
Gosh, we get splinters out of those teeter-totter boards.
Yeah.
It was the most embarrassing time of my life. I got a big, long splinter on one of those teeter-totter boards, and
I thought
had to
we
take
were over in Fanny's,
taken
in
them.
Fanny's house when you lived down the cellar door and got a big splinter. One of you did.
Anyway, we had to take me to Burlington Junction to Dr. Byron, and to have to take my panties off after I had Dr. Byron cut a splinter out of my bottom. I just thought I would die.
Yeah, that's where you got it, that Fanny's cellar door.
I always think about Janice's burn on her rear end from standing up against Alice's stove there.
Pot-bellied stove in the
Pot-bellied
dining room.
stove that she had there in the dining room.
Yeah.
She had a huge Wilma's stove. I thought this
No,
was
it was
over
Alice's. Alice's stove.
Who got burned?
Janice.
Janice, Wilma's
And
daughter. She had a scar that long. Everybody would
big
get
bump.
over
big
behind
bump.
the
Careful.
stove to get dressed in the morning because it was cold.
That must have been
Yeah, yeah, so we were talking about that the other day.
I'll bet Jan still had that scar.
Oh, yeah, and I can remember spending the night with a friend up at, where we lived, well, Charlene Patterson. Anyway, we were barefooted and I stepped on a huge, big rusty nail.
Ooh.
Do you think I got a tetanus shot? No. They put fat meat
polis on it.
That's right.
And that
That's
was
why
to
they
draw
do
out the.
Right, and I wore that sandal polis for days.
But
But just read,
just
now,
just
You
that.
know something
oh,
though?
he'd be happy.
Years and
Raw
years later,
fat
they
meat.
found out
And
that was a good thing to do.
I guess, it was,
Yeah.
I didn't die
But
from
when
tetanus.
you know, and
Yeah.
it will draw out the poison in there. It was an
Those
old-fashioned
are the
thing
things
that
everybody ought to
worked.
write down, those home
Remedy.
fun remedies there.
Yeah, they would all, yes, that's what they would do.
My
Well, how
grandfather
about
told me our
wintertime cold?
dog got worms to feed him clove of garlic. And I did, and that cures the worms fly out of the dog. Rather than taking him to the vet.
Mom would always give us,
You remember the onion pulled
Fried onions and put on your chest, and when you went to bed, they were hot, they felt so good. You'd wake up in the morning, those cold, greasy onions on your chest,
Oh,
it felt
yes.
terrible.
Oh, I remember that, I remember
Imagine how
that.
they
if
smell.
you were congested from a cold, they would put this like vapor rub on you and then put these fried onions on top of that.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
But it worked. It was an old-fashioned
But
thing
your
that worked.
hair. Dan, I'm just, because that takes guts. Was it really? And then that stuff that's called acidity.
Oh,
No, horrible.
Oh,
You
yeah.
sew it in a little cloth bag and you wore it around your neck. It
Yeah.
was supposed to keep all the germs in, and it really worked because kids wouldn't get close to you. It smelled so bad. They wouldn't get you a cold or anything. They wouldn't get that dirty.
didn't get a cold.
I remember acidity, yes, I do.
The funniest thing that ever happened, it really did me a lot of good, was when Paul was traveling for Wentworth, and he took me to Ponca City, Oklahoma, and these people invited us out to the country club. And one of the parents was there, and this really nice lady, and we got to talking. She grew up like I did on a farm, and we got to talking about acid bags, you know. And so later at Wentworth, they have Mother's Day and have all these mothers come, and Mrs. Wyckoff, who her husband ran the school, she was real snooty. She, you know, kind of always looked down her nose at me, you know, and she was going to introduce me to this lady, and she said, "Oh, I know her, we're sister." She said that she used to take hers off and hide it in the culvert before she got on school ground, and you know, I wasn't smart enough to do that. I wore it all day long.
How long would you wear it?
Oh, all winter long. I mean, to ward off all kinds of germs.
Well, in the summertime, we always went. Sometime we always wanted to go barefooted. Mom wouldn't let us till the 1st of May, but we'd take our shoes off coming home from school, and then by the time we got to the house, we'd put our shoes back on.
First, you didn't notice that the bottom of your feet were black.
Didn't show them about feet.
Yeah, we ran around barefooted all summer, and then when winter would come, my mother would
And
call.
always had to
Her
go
mother,
down and
you
get
know.
new shoes for
Yeah,
school.
yeah,
We always
call her
did
mother.
a pair of new shoes
Because
for
it's
school.
all right for the boys to start wearing their shoes now. Yes, it would be all right. I'd get feet to get off of gold if there wasn't.
The day I liked was when you could take off the long underwear, so you didn't have bulges in your socks. With the long socks, you pulled up over the long underwear. It wasn't very glamorous.
Yeah.
That too.
Well, we was talking about the horseradish yesterday, that you used to dig up the horseradish
Oh, yeah.
and we'd make our own horseradish. And you liked it on
I love that
meat
too.
and on fried potatoes.
I ate that
You
on
had
lots
to
of
clean
things,
it
yeah.
and grind it
Yeah.
and put vinegar with it.
It was hard to
And one of
grind.
your favorite
Yeah.
things to do and to eat.
Horseradish, huh?
Uh-huh.
It's hot when it's pure horseradish.
Yeah.
When they tone it down with mustard and stuff, it's not enough.
You want to put it on sparingly.
It brings tears to your eyes. Yeah, that was probably another thing that kept you from having colds.
You put it on our,
Yeah, probably
Freddy's
was.
on our hamburger.
I was susceptible to pneumonia, and I had pneumonia every winter for about 10 years.
Mom had, this was right after World War I, when Wilma was born, and she had pneumonia when everybody was dying with pneumonia. When she was pregnant with you, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And Wilma would have, after she was born, have pneumonia for
Every year. for
every
about
year.
10 years.
And that's why she has hard time breathing, her has congestion.
Infected my breathing.
Wilma's really had a tough life.
Yeah, I have.
Besides, the year she was born, fell in the cracks where Social Security somehow, those people in those 2-year period time don't get as much as other people.
Oh, you're kidding me.
And the-
Substitute.
And they're aware of this, because I read an article about it once, but they have never compensated for that. And I think, poor Will.
Well, yeah.
What did your mother do when you had this pneumonia every year? Did you do anything they
Oh, put in
know.
tent, and when she would, couldn't breathe.
Put vapor up on my chest every
Put
night.
a sheet over their crib, and put steam, tea kettle, have a tea kettle boiling with steam in there to keep the moisture,
And
moist air.
Once you're susceptible, you get it real easy, and so I had it every winter for about 10 winters.
Mm.
Oh, we went down and looked at and it really scarred your lungs, didn't it? Like if she were a heavy smoker, she never smoked, it just scarred the lungs from all that. I think we'll try 3 different schools.
We didn't have books in those days, and all we had to depend on was memories.
The thing
And my mother would say, I will call my mother and see if the boys can go barefooted.
if it was time yet.
Time would they have, yeah.
And we didn't have veterinarians, but Charlie Pearson, a neighbor, he knew how to, doctor animals and stuff. That's where Dad would always go to. And then, like Lee says, Dad always had these fine horses. Well, there came a disease among the horses, sleeping sickness, and they were dying like flies. And we had 2 horses that had little colds, really little colds, and Charlie Pearson bled those horses, cut their leg and made them bleed a whole lot. And those horses, he saved.
Get it out of their system or whatever.
He saved those horses. I thought I was going to kill them, but they didn't.
Well, one's not done, it's Carolyn's
They didn't
fault.
depend on books, they didn't have books. They depended on memories. Memories that their mother was to be able to.
I'm a role
I could call my mother and we'd see if you were.
Really, stick it up before her.
Yeah, and their Bible was the Farmer's Almanac.
That's right.
Pray for good health. Pray for
Right, and you didn't plant unless it was the right sign of the moon, to plant tomatoes or potatoes or whatever.
That's right, they don't say.
How many minutes?
I was just having coffee with the guy last week, and I'm a city slicker, I don't deny that, but he was saying how he went to Colorado and he was there for the cows were giving birth to calves, and he said it was ideal conditions because it had snowed, and it was very, very, very cold, freezing temperatures. And I said, geez, the calves, I thought wouldn't they die from that? He said, oh no, those are ideal conditions because they were not susceptible to any diseases. He says, so ideal conditions are when it's, freezing when they bear calves. And I said, geez, I didn't know that. I would have thought that would have been a bad, that would get cold and die. He said, no. He said, that keeps all the diseases away. So, well,
Yeah, but anyway, folks.
learn that.
You didn't make this whole thing by hand? I'm afraid not.
Did you get that one, Jerry? That was of mine.
I got that, Lee. You're on record.
That's it.
This is how I cook at home.
So years from now, that's,
I'll show your grandkids.
that's sticking with me.
You've heard of 10-minute Shelley. I'm the queen of 10-minute Shelley.
Linda, where did you grow up?
Take 10 minutes.
Well, I'm fortunate, I have a woman who lives about 2 houses
New York
down
City,
that,
when I was
she's
little,
a writer,
and then
and
came to
she's at home a lot, and
California,
once in a while
and
she cooks.
Something
I had
is
a Baptist
in,
meal, she'll
Yellow
bring me
County
over
for a
some,
little bit. Sacramento. Then we went up to the mountains, close to Reno, Nevada. When I had about 7 years, so I had knowing about snow also. I used to sled ride and did that. And my balance is not good, so I never really was very good at skiing. But I tried it, but then I found out that sled riding is better.
Yeah, the whole crew.
Safer.
Walk in the entire kitchen with kids.
Though I did
Something.
skate, ice skate, for about the time from 8 years old till I was in my early 20s. So I like ice skating. I like to watch the Olympics.
Oh, man. So, you were born in New York?
No, I was born in Skidula, Hungary.
Oh.
And, and then came, my grandfather lived in Connecticut.
Oh.
And he sponsored me and I over here to America.
How old were you when you moved to
Oh, I was almost 4, I guess. And then I lived in New York for about a year or two, New York City. But I got an ear infection while I was in New York City because it's so cold. I lost the hearing in my right ear. So I didn't know that till I was in about 5th grade when they started giving the children ear tests. Yeah, I missed New York City for a long time, and then about 3 years ago, I went back for the first time since I was a child. And I just said I was going home. I really enjoyed that.
Oh.
Yeah. It must have been a little longer
Lee and
than
Joy
that.
are
Yeah,
gonna
about
go
4 years
to
now.
New York, over spring break.
Yeah, June 18th, we gotta go.
And Joy and Jerry lived there for a short time when their dad went to school there.
Yeah, we lived close to Central Park, and my mom, she was working in an art studio during the daytime and singing and playing the piano at night. And then a lot of times I was backstage while she did that. And, but I remember some of it, of course I was little. But I enjoyed it.
Popped out today.
So, but I'm sort of like a native of California because I've been here for a while.
Well, you've had an interesting life, goodness, you've seen a lot of different
Yeah, I spoke Hungarian, German, and French, and no English when I came to this country.
So now you know 4 languages.
No, unfortunately, I went to be like the other children, and I forgot the other languages. Wish I did have 4 languages.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And I don't know why I say, I'm gonna clean this closet out. And I get it all out on the bed, and I think, well, maybe, you know, I don't end up with anything to take for Goodwill. We do that about
I remember when you lived and taught in Rushville, because like I say, our school got out in April, and I would go visit. That was before you were married. Visited you, and you were boarding at Mrs. Page's house. And she had,
I wear them out.
I don't know, Margie Page was the girl's name, but I don't know if it was her granddaughter or someone that lived with her, but was about my age. And you would take me Indian arrowhead hunting in those hills there. Back in those days, you'd find quite a few people. So many people hunt them anymore. It's really, really hard to find them. But in those days, you had kind of a nice collection of them.
Remember the fun we had hunting for mushrooms and
Oh, yes. Oh, those were the days, I tell you.
Marge came up one
Yeah.
time and got a whole tub.
Up at Janice's,
Yeah.
on up in Iowa.
Wasn't that fun?
Oh,
Yeah, I remember one time, somebody had a tub of those things.
yeah,
She
that,
took a whole tub full home with her and she told someone in the newspaper came out and took a picture of them, and then everybody came with sacks
Heck, it was a whole,
wanting some mushrooms.
a whole truck, car truck full. Yeah, it was
Oh,
when
they were delicious, those wild mushrooms were
Dutch
delicious.
elm disease came along and killed a whole lot of elm trees. And then they pop up around those dead elm trees the next year.
Is that this, because I remember seeing a picture 10, 15 years ago that somebody had that big,
Swimming pool, those the kids
was that
waiting.
one? Yeah, there were full
Yeah.
of mushrooms that,
And it was out at the old house where we lived.
oh, that's.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And that's been 31 years ago because the picture that was in the paper was me and our oldest grandson Brad, who's 32 years old now. He was just about a year old. Yeah.
But it seemed to me I saw a picture later, because I mean, it was like 15 or 20 years ago. I want to say it was out at, oh, where was that? Because it was in Toad Hall or one of those places, but it was a picture because the newspaper man came out and this was a mound like as big as a Volkswagen car. Remember that at all? Because somebody sent it to Dolores, the picture of it, because they said, you know, they went out and everybody went and collected these mushrooms, and they were huge mushrooms.
But they just pop up overnight, you know.
It was so much fun to go out
Oh,
and find mushrooms.
we'd be so excited when we find them.
But how can you tell a
Yeah.
bad mushroom from a good one? They're
Well,
not poisonous.
the only ones we pick are morels, and they look kind of like a sponge on top. And yeah, they didn't look like toadstools or any of those.
Yeah, those are peculiar.
Yeah, you had to know what.
Yeah, they look more like a sponge with a stem. Oh, they were delicious.
But that's another thing, it's harder and harder to find them because so many of the timbers have been cut away, you know, and I can name you so many places where I used to go mushroom hunting and now it's no good at all because the trees have been
Some people
cut
Oh,
down.
that'd be fun to go in.
Yeah, I remember taking you when we lived out in the big house down in back. And then some years they're hardly getting it, just has to be just right. And you have to have plenty of moisture first of all,
After a shower,
and then it has to get really warm after a shower, and they'll just pop
and then
out.
they just pop up.